Hello, you beautiful people, and welcome back to Let's Play The Forgotten City, where we are first of all gonna read that. The mosaics looks beautiful, I have to admit, and the light to reflect anyways. Now, Centilla expresses gratitude to Centius for adopting her. Centilla to Centius, may Jupiter, Optimus, Maximus continue to protect and guide you. Thank you for making me your daughter and for the lovely birthday pendant. I promise will wear... What the hell? I promise I will wear it always. I feel safe and fortunate to have you as my father and Cynthia as my sister. I sense you have been feeling apprehensive about the election. Next month, if you can just show them the strong and dependable man I know you to be, you will be re-elected, I'm sure of it. Alright, I'm a newcomer, buddy. With a nice armor on, by the way. And let's chat.
We're finally alone. I assume you already know who I am. May I know your name?
I'm Psychic.
A curious name to match a curious accent. But I digress. I see you have the piercing and astute eyes of a man of great learning. We're always happy to welcome another scholar to our little community. Equitia will be delighted to meet you, I'm sure. Now, you're probably wondering why I summoned you, and I'll get to that. But first, take a look at this wondrous place, would you? A secret city built deep in the mountains many hundreds of years ago.
It's beautiful, yes.
Indeed. More importantly, consider the miraculous community we've built here over the last 7 months. 22 complete strangers brought together by the fates, living and working together in our own little paradise. And in all that time, not a single sin has been committed. No fights, no theft, nothing. Have you ever witnessed something so extraordinary as a city without sin?
Can't say I have, yes.
Nor could I until I came here. But the reason for this miracle is as simple as it is terrifying. If even one person commits a sin here, every last one of us will die. You see, the builders of this place, whoever they were, left inscriptions warning, "The many shall suffer for the sins of the one." From what we can gather, breaking the law here will anger the gods and provoke a terrible punishment. Like the curses of Medusa and Midas combined, turning us all to gold. We've come to call it the Golden Rule. It's extraordinary that we've survived as long as we have, and each day I grow more and more afraid that our time in the sun is almost up. And now it seems that day is finally here. All that matters is that somebody in this city is about to break the Golden Rule. Why else would Proserpina send you now? Unless you and I can stop them, our doom is assured. I know that's a lot to take in, and you look like you have questions. Please, ask away.
What counts as a sin here?
An intelligent question. There was a good deal of debate about that in our first weeks here. Does it refer to crimes or to some other ill-defined wrong? Of course, everyone agrees on the basics. No theft, no assault, and certainly no murder. But beyond that, it was more difficult to reach a consensus. What about lying, insulting someone, blasphemy, trespass, trying to escape, bribery, infidelity, suicide? As magistrate, I had to exercise leadership, and so I made a decision. We must uphold the laws of the Empire to a standard never before seen. And we must honor the peace of the gods, the sacred accord between the gods and the people of Rome. It is only by offering the gods the proper respect that we may prosper, as Rome has for centuries.
Makes sense. I'm not sure if that's a good idea. What is legal isn't always moral, and many of your laws and customs are considered barbaric where I'm from. That's the future. Okay, let's try the second one.
Barbaric? Barbaric? What are you talking about? The Empire is the most civilizing force in the known world. Rome is a beacon of light in the darkness. For 800 years she has borne great statesmen, philosophers, poets, artists, and engineers. We have comprehensive laws protecting the rights of our citizens, which have unified countless warring tribes all across the Mediterranean and beyond, from Gallia to Judea. All our citizens are treated the same, regardless of the color of their skin or their sexual preference. Can you say the same? When our people are starving, they are given food rations, and when they are wronged, they have the right to bring the guilty party before the magistrate. Our laws forbid treason, murder, assault, and rape, as well as theft and arson, and so on. No other civilization in the world is so advanced, and you have the hubris to call us barbaric?
Yeah. My mistake. Right, okay, don't go and have your right. That's a good one.
Of course, but with fewer rights come fewer responsibilities, and the right to be protected by their fathers and husbands.
Don't your laws allow slave ownership?
Of course. What else would we do with those prisoners of war who would otherwise have been executed? And besides, there are laws for their protection as well.
Don't your people watch blood sports for entertainment?
On occasion. But our gladiators are almost all volunteers seeking glory, or condemned prisoners who would have been executed anyway. I do not see the harm.
Don't you persecute Christians?
You mean the blasphemous cult responsible for burning down half of Rome last year? It's hard to blame the people for being angry about that.
Don't you practice collective punishment?
Are you talking about our practice of decimation? Of course. We could hardly unite all these warring tribes without a disciplined, formidable legion.
Where I'm from, we consider those things to be abhorrent.
Well, right now, you're a long, long way from home. I have made my pronouncement on the subject. Unfortunately, there are still those here who resist, whispering blasphemous and treasonous lies in the shadows. I would be keeping a close eye on them if I were you.
Okay, what do you mean when you said Proserpina sent me?
You see, in my search for a way to save my people, I learned of an ancient ritual to Proserpina, the goddess of the cycle of life and renewal. It's said to open a doorway in time, so that if the unthinkable happens, one person can pass through it and travel back to the past. And when I saw you arrive in a flash of light from the goddess's shrine, I knew that person was you. You don't belong in our time, do you?
You're right, I'm from 2,000 years in the future. Okay, let's try.
2,000 years? That is unfathomable. Please tell me, in your time, what did you see? What had become of us, of this city?
You all be turned into golden statues, yeah.
I have imagined it, our downfall 1,000 times, but it still breaks my heart to hear the truth of it.
How does the ritual work?
All I can tell you is that it's a ritual sacrifice to Proserpina. I stumbled across instructions. I have to recite a prayer, and of course, as with all rituals, some sacrifice is involved. Usually that means wine or food, or in some cases a live animal. In this case, the sacrifice is rather more costly. The life of the person performing the ritual. I don't suppose you saw any sign of me in the future?
I did see human remains in the temple.
I assume that was me. If I'm forced to perform the ritual, it's going to cost me everything. You'll try to make sure I don't need to use it, won't you?
I'll do my best.
Well, I suppose that's all I can ask for.
Why can't you investigate?
Well, I believe you're in the best position to go around asking people questions. You're new here, and it'll seem perfectly normal. As for me, well, it pains me to say my attempts to impose order have not earned me many friends. I fear I may not even remain magistrate after today's election. The people here would only treat my curiosity with suspicion. You shouldn't have that problem, though, unless, of course, you get off on the wrong foot.
Fair enough. Do you have any suspects?
Do you ever stare at a problem for so long that you can't see it for what it is anymore? What's needed here is a fresh pair of eyes. The less I prejudice the independence of your investigation, the better.
How do I know you're not the person responsible?
Me? Why would you suspect me? I've just told you, I'm about to sacrifice my own life to ensure these people have a second chance. What reason could you possibly have to suspect me, of all people?
Yeah, that's a fair point.
I'm glad you think so. Without trust, without each other, we won't be able to prevent what is about to happen.
Okay, do you think it could be related to Scintilla's disappearance?
So you know about that already. It's a devastating loss, of course, but that was over 3 weeks ago, and whatever happened to her, it didn't break the golden rule, so I don't think it's connected with our imminent demise. Still, if you happen to find her and return her to me, I would be eternally grateful.
Come on, tell me what you really think.
Well, all right. There are those who wish to vote me out of office so that they can pursue their own misguided political agenda. Frankly, their selfishness and recklessness risk destabilizing the entire city. I would be looking very carefully at them if I were you.
Okay, if I do this, will you help me get me back to my own time?
If I understand Prosepina's ritual correctly, that problem should take care of itself. Let me see if I can explain. If you manage to prevent the sin that breaks the golden rule, I won't need to bring you here. I won't create the portal, and you will never have been able to come here. Thus, you'll have created a paradox. If this occurs, you should be flung back to your own time, having changed the past for all of us. Make sense?
I think so. That's all the question I had.
Good. So, are you with me? Can I count on you to figure out who's about to break the golden rule?
I will try. I'm in, yeah.
Wonderful. Now, I need you to investigate the city, talk to everyone, help them if it'll win their trust. I authorize you to enter private homes and inspect possessions and documents, unless, of course, you're asked to leave. Figure out who the culprit is, and as soon as you have a name, come back and tell me immediately.
Alright, let's get started.
Oh, and one last thing. If I were you, I'd start my investigation by visiting Lucretia at the Shrine of Apollo in the Forum. I heard wailing from there not long ago. Seems like something's not right.
Alright. Let's go there. Nice talking. Yeah, maybe, I don't know, maybe maybe already suspecting the two peoples. Oh, we have a quest journal. Nice. Is gonna be. We could have maybe, or we could do that. That might end the. Is this a loop? Let's see if we're gonna have a loop here. I do not know. I suspect.
Keep an eye out for Scintilla, would you? What now? All right?
I suspect you.
Do I need to ask Horatius to escort you out of here? Get out, you horrid barbarian!
We might have screwed totally up with her. That's too bad. The diary. Today my father suggested I write a diary as a way of keeping myself occupied while we all deal with the sudden and devastating disappearance of my sister. As a dutiful daughter, of course I shall oblige. The following pages contain my innermost secrets. I know you are reading this, father. I may be young, but do not think me stupid. We all entitled to our secrets, Cynthia. Okay, cool. Okay, we could steal. Not now. Inkjet. This ink appears to be made from soot and water. The brass has been polished into a rudimentary mirror which has been used for applying makeup. I would have... A small vial containing a rudimentary perfume made from flowers and oil. Nice, okay, and one more thing, I'm sorry. A brass jar containing some sort of powder for makeup. Alright, good. Yeah, we could steal, I won't. Yet again, right? And the boy?
Are they?
Yeah, greetings to you too. Okay, let's actually start with the priority in the forum. I don't know. Yeah. I solve a disappearing crime thingy. We do a lot of talking, by the way. That is what I can already tell you guys. Shrine of Apollo. An apple a day keeps the doctor away, right? I don't know why I wanted to say that, but, well, here we are. A collection of barbaric-looking medical implants, including forceps and chairs. Let's start.
Give me a moment. Sorry I'm such a mess. I just lost a patient and a dear friend. Yulia. She was a good woman.
What happened?
She was poisoned. She came in here frothing at the mouth. Normally I'd treat her with resin of silphium, a rare plant which is perfect for this sort of thing. And I knew Decius had some at his market stall, right around the corner. So I ran over there, but he just looks at me with this evil smile and says, "That'll be 1,000 denarii." There was no way I could afford that, and he knew it. Then that toad shrugs and says, "Supply and demand. I guess you don't value your friend's life that highly." Anywhere else, I'd just pay a thug to steal it from his stall. But there's no way I can do that down here, with the golden rule. So all I could do is come back here and just watch her die. I kept on apologizing. And now I'll never know who poisoned her, or how they managed to do it without breaking the golden rule, or why she cursed that snake's cruel black eyes with her dying breath.
This is a thing I can do to help.
Well, unless you have the power to bring someone back from the dead, there's really just one thing you can do. Get me that silphium resin. I'm going to have another patient in here soon. Could be in the next day, or in the next hour. And I will not allow this to happen again. I don't care how you get it, but you have to make it happen. Because if I lose another patient this way, I swear to the gods below, not even the golden rule will stop me from marching up to that genetricum fututo and scratching his eyes out.
Okay, I'll get right. Yeah, I'll see what I can do. Now, what's your story, by the way?
I'm Lucretia. And I'm going to be straight with you. I'm not a physician. This is Nevia's clinic. I've just been filling in ever since she disappeared. I'm tired and out of my depth and miserable all the time. But I'd rather take this on myself than let one of you lot mess it up.
How did you end up here?
My husband and I moved to Rome from Caesarea. He embraced the Roman way more than I would have liked and turned into an awful philanderer. I would have divorced him and demanded the return of my dowry, but I knew he would sooner have me killed than give me my right. So I waited for the right time to take what was mine and disappear. And then the fires came. As he prepared to evacuate our villa, I gathered our most precious belongings, coins and gemstones, and the moment his back was turned, I ran. I could barely see for the smoke, and the streets were full of people trampling each other. I ran for the river, like everyone else, and leapt in. The next thing I remember, I was waking up on a riverbank, not far from here.
I'm sorry to hear that.
It's all right. Say what you will about this place. At least my fornicating husband will never find me. And while there's no shortage of snakes here, at least with the golden rule, they have to try to be discreet about it.
Okay, why are you working out of a shrine?
Oh, this shrine was in use as a clinic long before any of us arrived here. Kind of strange to set up a clinic in the temple of the god of disease. But the god who inflicts a curse is also the only god who can undo it. So I suppose praying to Apollo for healing kind of makes sense.
Tell me more about Nevia.
Well, she used to run the clinic. She was a midwife, not a physician, but she was the closest thing we had down here. And she was good too. Until she suddenly lost all interest in us. One day she told me she'd made some profound discovery about the golden statues. This changes everything, she kept saying. But I had no idea what she was talking about. The last time I saw her, the last time any of us saw her, she was muttering to the statues, like she could talk to them. And then she shut herself in the palace, barred the door from the inside, and nobody's seen her since. She's been gone so long now, we figure she's either dead or up to something so strange that she doesn't want anyone else to know about it. But I really wish I could reach her, because that's the only hope I have of solving a troubling problem, a real thorn in the paw situation. One of my patients is suffering from terrible rheumatism. His joints are inflamed and he's in constant pain.
Who? No, go on.
He's become so irritable that the smallest things set him off, and I worry he'll end up losing his temper and lashing out, and you know what that means. I just know Nevia would know how to treat him, assuming she's still alive. But nobody seems to know how to get into the palace.
Okay, I see what I can do, yeah.
Thanks, I suppose.
Do you know a way out of
I
here?
wish. Some people here need proper medical care, not the half-baked, hanging by a thread excuse for treatment I'm giving them. Just don't get sick or injured here. I'll do my best to treat you, but I'm out of my depth and dangerously short on everything you can imagine.
What do you think about the golden
A
rule?
city without sin might sound good on paper, but whoever dreamt it up didn't think it through. Maybe it was an attempt to create some kind of utopia. But snakes like Decius will always find loopholes to exploit. And what can we do about it? Absolutely nothing. In some ways, we are worse off because we can't take the law into our own hands.
I keep hearing the statues whispering. Is that normal?
Oh no. Sorry, I don't mean to worry you, but no, that is definitely not normal. There was one other person who claimed she could hear the statues talking to her. But that was Nevia, and she went a little mad.
Tell me more about her.
Well, she used to run the clinic. She was a midwife, not a physician, but she was the closest thing we had down here. And she was good too, until she suddenly lost all interest in us. One day she told me she'd made some profound discovery about the golden statues. This changes everything, she kept saying. But I had no idea what she was talking about. The last time I saw her, the last time any of us saw her, she was muttering to the statues, like she could talk to them. And then she shut herself in the palace, barred the door from the inside, and nobody's seen her since. She's been gone so long now, we figure she's either dead or up to something so strange that she doesn't want anyone else to know about it. But I really wish I could reach her, because that's the only hope I have of solving a troubling problem, a real thorn in the paw situation. One of my patients is suffering from terrible rheumatism. His joints are inflamed and he's in constant pain.
Who?
I really shouldn't say. He wouldn't like it. And he's a little bit scary. He's become so irritable that the smallest things set him off. And I worry he'll end up losing his temper and lashing out. And you know what that means.
No.
I just know Nevia would know how to treat him, assuming she's still alive. But nobody seems to know how to get into the palace.
Okay.
Really? That would be wonderful. Thank you. Let me know how you go.
Okay, but we still have a couple of lines, right?
Feeling all right?
Yeah. Can we talk about Julia?
Sure. What do you want to know?
Do you think she was poisoned or was it self-inflicted?
Do you really want to know? I mean, if somebody poisoned her, then surely they would have broken the golden rule, and so maybe it's best we don't discuss it.
Do you know what poisoned her?
Hemlock, I believe.
Is there any reason why she might have wanted to die?
I haven't seen her in months. She's not allowed to leave Malleolas' villa, and they are quite secretive.
Let's talk about something else. I think we do not have something
Gladly.
else. I'll be going.
Well, come back if you get sick or injured. Day or night, I'll do what I can.
Cheers. And guys, okay, let's... No items. Okay, guys, we are gonna actually crack on here in the next episode and you see, figure out the treatment, yada yada yada, leads, main goals, the golden rules, points of origin, create the time paradox, figure out who most likely optional things, we have leads which we are gonna go after, figure out how to make drop out of the election, okay. Figure out how to get into his villa. Something. Okay. Let's see there. Guys, we will there go on in the next episode. We are gonna have a little chat here in the next episode. And as usual, I really thank you for watching. If you guys actually do have enjoyed. And I guess then, I know, we were quite talk heavy. And I do think in the next couple of episodes we are... Yes, I can.
Hey Virgil, how much would you want to make me a bow?
We are gonna have more of a... You know, I think riddling. For now, you know that I really thank you for watching. If you guys actually do have enjoyed today's episode, then please give me a little thumbs up and subscribe. And hopefully I see you in the next episode. Until then, I wish you all a wonderful day. Stay frosty. Stay frosty. Bye.